The writer strikes may be over, but the actors are nowhere in agreement with studios, and now whiny actors are going into interviews talking about how terrible companies are and how mean they are and how they're actually using bully tactics as the talks are now paused. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. So I primarily wanted to reference this article. It is by the New York Times. I, of course, am using an archive. It says talks between striking actors and studios are now suspended. It says negotiations between the major entertainment studios and the unions representing tens of thousands of actors have collapsed, with both sides saying on Thursday morning that they remained far apart on the most significant issues. Now, I think we all expected the actor strikes to be over relatively quickly once the writer strikes ended, because of course when one falls, the other follows, but that has not been the case here. It seems like the actors are playing really hard to get, and their demands, according to the studios, are absurd. These actors, it really seems like they figured they would get what they wanted easily, because two of the things the writers got, pay increases and protection against AI, were met for them. So they thought, oh, this will be a piece of cake. These companies are so desperate for this to all end. They'll simply meet our demands. And from what we understand, when it comes to pay increases and protection against AI, the actors were getting exactly what the writers were, but then they decided, oh, we can slip in a few ridiculous additions, and it's not going the way that they anticipated. These studios are not bending so easily to their demands. One of the major things that these actors wanted differently was streaming revenue, presenting some sort of royalty systems that's dependent on viewership for content that's on a streaming service, and that is clearly not what the AMPTP thought was in any way profitable for their members, which is almost all of the streaming services. It says the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, the AMPTP, which bargains on behalf of the studio, said that it was suspending talks because they were no longer moving us in a productive direction after a session on Wednesday. It seems, yes, like the actors went into this, the SAG-AFTRA actors and presidents, I know that Fran Drescher is the president, she's an actress, they went into this knowing what they wanted, and they weren't really budging. It says SAG-AFTRA, the actors union, which has been on strike since July, accused studio executives of bully tactics and said the studios recently presented an offer that was shockingly worth less than they proposed before the strike began. Now, we don't actually have any evidence of this. We don't have any numbers, and I kind of find that hard to believe, because this is a bargaining system, right? The actors ask for a ton, the studios want to give them significantly less, but the studios had just made the writers deal, and I bet that they just simply offered the actors everything exactly the same, and that is what we're hearing from multiple sources, and I do tend to believe that. Of course, the AMPTP wants this over as quickly as possible now. They want these actors to get back to work. They want projects to continue to be created, but it seems like they're really not budging. And I think it's funny that these actors are saying that they're shocked because these studios are using bully tactics, and it's just such a disrespectful thing that they're doing. Oh, boo-hoo, cry me a river. Oh my god, companies don't want to give up money. Companies are being greedy. It is said that these actors are being very argumentative, that everyone in the leadership positions that are actually going and giving their demands are definitely playing hard to get because, again, they feel the studios are desperate for things to continue, desperate for these strikes to be over, but it really doesn't seem that way. I mean, I remember months ago, we heard financial officers in Hollywood saying things like, these strikes are saving us so much money. They're saving us hundreds of millions of dollars because we don't have to pay people. And even though less projects are being created, we already have so many in the works that it's saving us money. I just don't think that they are as affected as these actors and the presidents of these organizations really think they are. I have no love for these companies, but I also really don't have any love for these actors. They are acting so whiny and so egotistical. It's like, I'm just thinking of the Rachel Zeglers here saying, oh my God, the companies are bullying us. They're being so disrespectful. Yeah, they're companies. That's just what they're going to do. They just want to make money, and they don't want to hand out money if they don't have to. You already know that. You are the ones working for these companies. From what we have heard, they wanted, insane things, as I mentioned. Actors wanted viewership bonuses with hefty price tags attached, and there's just no way that companies are going to do that. I mean, it says on Thursday, Netflix's Ted Sarandos spoke with about the situation at the Bloomberg Screen Time conference, saying, we had very productive talks going. Then what kind of happened last night? They introduced this levy on subscribers. It just felt like a bridge too far to add this deep into the negotiations. SAG-AFTRA has stated that the AMPTP has overstated the cost of this proposal, and Drescher pointed out that the studio's bargaining team didn't even give a counter to their proposal, choosing to walk away instead. We made a huge concession on streaming revenue share, changing the proposal away from a revenue percentage into just a viewership proposal. Massive move in their direction. She says that it's a massive move in their direction, but clearly they don't agree. Clearly they didn't actually like that proposal, and they are allowed to walk away, just like you guys have walked away several times at this point. I think it's hilarious that these people feel like it's okay when they walk away, but it's not okay when the AMPTP walks away. These actors are just so whiny and full of themselves. I just can't stand them. I mean, I'm sure that throughout this, whole situation, good people, good creatives, good actors have gotten screwed over. That there are actors that are not working right now that I love, that you love, that are actually genuinely decent people, that are great at their jobs. But it's just like when Rachel Zegler's going into interviews, when Fran Drescher is sitting here saying how disrespectful these studios are, it just boils my blood, and I know it does for so many of you as well. These people are whiny, they are entitled, and I cannot stand them. But yes, now they're saying that the studio's latest moves are completely disrespectful and so shocking, and right now the talks between striking actors and studios are suspended, meaning there is no end in sight for these strikes. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.